Hello and welcome to Mirror Talk. We have moments where we just have to pause. Just pause and take a break and reflect on life. Remember, you are strong, you are enough, you are capable, you are blessed, and you are loved. Your moment of greatness starts now. Today, it's a delight to talk with a fitness, health, and lifestyle blogger. His inspiring and enlightening articles could be found on betterldiru.com. He also runs and hosts his own podcast called The More You Know. How are you doing, Brian?
I am doing good. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I can't wait to share some information with you.
I was going through your blog, and your blog posts and your podcast are so much filled with so much, enlightening content. Could you talk to me about the inspiration behind your amazing work?
Yeah. So the inspiration behind my blog, I got into health and fitness a while back when I was younger, and when I got serious about it and noticing that I had like a transformation on my body, everyone that I went to like high school with was asking me, what should I do to lose weight? What should I do to build this muscle? What should I do for this body part? And I felt like I was repeating myself for so many answers, and it just goes through one ear through the other. So I thought that it would be helpful if I just started my own blog where I just kind of wrote blog articles about what I've done throughout my journey. And so if anyone wants to ask me a question about it, they can get an explanation about it on my website. And if there's one thing that bodybuilding has taught me and like being into fitness, it's a lot of inspiration, and you find out a lot about yourself, and kind of like the saying that success doesn't come without consistency and hard work. And that is very true from like the fitness perspective, but also outside of fitness too. I've watched my career growth just like experience like a really good uptrend from just being consistent with always wanting to improve myself and get better. And that's kind of what inspired me to host my own podcast too, The More You Know, because I truly think that knowledge is truly power, and I think that the more stuff that you know, the more powerful you can be. Just learning something new is always fun because you meet so many people throughout your life. And if there's one thing that I found out throughout my 23 years of living, is that small talk is an amazing tool. A lot of people hate it because like it's awkward, but small talk for me, I like it because that's when you can pick pieces of someone's personality. You can see what they like, see what they don't like, and you can build your relationships further from maybe they say something about anime or like a TV show, and then you're just like, wait, I heard about that TV show on that podcast, and then you can reference some part of it, and then you guys found a connection. And then once you find a connection with someone, you start feeling comfortable with them. And from there on, your relationship just blossoms into so much more than just a random, awkward small talk.
Yeah. Wow. I was listening to your podcast, and you made mention of something like this. You said, the more you know it's about, the more you know it's just basically learning everything, or basically learning anything possible, just being open to learning more. Something like that was what you said, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really found that, very, inspiring. Inspired by your Focus Friday episode 3, you stated that the perfect time to start anything is right now. But, sometimes we have things or hindrances that, hinder us or, prohibit us from starting that journey towards our goals. So, which, most of the time could be, excuses that we personally make to ourselves, things that we tell ourselves that could be, hindering us or limiting us from starting a journey towards self-improvement, towards greatness. So, how do you drop those excuses and start that journey towards your goals? How do you drop all those excuses that you make up for yourself and just push on and start the journey towards your goals?
Yeah, that's a very good question. A lot of people struggle with keeping consistent on a goal. For me, there's two things that push me to be consistent with any of my goals. I like to keep my word to myself, and I never like to be a quitter, regardless of how much I hate something. A good example was in high school. I joined the wrestling team with one of my friends,
Mm.
and turns out my friend actually quit on like the second week. So I was just stuck in the beginning of wrestling season, my first year, and I don't even know how to wrestle. And I just couldn't get it within me to quit the team because that's not who I am. And if there's one thing that I hate quitting. I feel like if you quit, that's a true failure in a way.
Yeah.
But if you try something and you give it your all, and then you decide like it's not for me, then yeah, it's good to quit.
Mm.
But for me, I've always liked to keep a word with myself because I am a very competitive person. So I compete with myself daily. I compete with myself every single day of my life, trying to get better than who I was yesterday. Either that be just going on Reddit, finding something new, learning something new, or just reading the news and reading more about technology trends. Pick up some new hobby, pick up some new type of facts. And my second thing that keeps me to not give in to any excuses is that if I post it on social media, then I am held accountable. So aside from holding yourself accountable, you have to hold what your audience your audience is holding you accountable too. And the way that I did it with my podcast and my blog is that I pretended that all my friends were interested in it. But in reality, probably not as many people. But to me, I made sure that I acted like these people were relying on my information.
Yes.
And that is what drove me to push out content every single week. And of course, life does get the best of me sometimes. So sometimes you have to find that good balance of working, personal life, and your health. Yeah. And sometimes there are weeks where you do have to set aside your work to focus on yourself, because if there's one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to let the work overtake your life and affect multiple things like your relationships and your health.
That's great. One method I've gotten from you now is making yourself accountable for every decision you make. Like one way of dropping excuses is always, having it in the back of your mind that you have friends, you have your friends or fans on social media who are holding you accountable for every decision or everything you put out. So that makes you drop your excuses anytime you think, oh, I can't do this anymore, or I can't go on this journey anymore.
Yeah. And I found a lot of this in my life was when I talk to people and they do the talking, but they don't do the walking. You know the phrase, you talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? There's a lot of people who just talk the talk. And for me, there's something that inspired me to do that Focus Friday episode 3 was just like, walk the walk. Get started on your walk. Even if it's one step in the walk, you have skin in the game. You have like a down payment, really. Like your down payment in this case can be you put your idea out there. Now you have an audience. Your audience is depending on your first post and your weekly posts. Yeah. So as long as you start the foundation and you do something, then you have people to hold you accountable, and you have to have that self-discipline to hold yourself accountable.
Wow. Yes, that's really good. So just tell me, what excuses have you cut out of your own life? What excuses have you cut out to live the life you are currently living, or what excuses are you trying to, let go of?
Yeah, some excuses that for me I've been trying to let go of, and I think I've been pretty consistent with it, is to always stay moving. Because when when you are in a rhythm, say, let's take for example the typical weekday for me. I go to work, come home at 5, 8 to 5, and then I don't allow myself to lay down and get comfy. You have to, if you come home and you get in your comfy clothes and you just lay down, you're gonna get into that feeling of like, oh, it's time to sit back, relax for a little bit, and then maybe give or take like an hour, I'll go to the gym, start working out, cook dinner, write an article, or something like that. But as you lay down, you're going to get comfy. And then you're going to make excuses like, oh, I deserve this. I had a rough day today. Or, I'm just too tired. But that's something that I've been trying to kick for myself. So I don't allow myself to really sit down and relax much when I get home. I like to just keep the rhythm. I just like to keep the flow going. And then once it comes to like 8 o'clock when I have dinners done and I'm able to sit down on the couch with my girlfriend and we watch TV and eat dinner, that's my time to relax for a couple hours before I get ready for bed.
So letting go of the excuses of saying I'm tired. It's really helping you to keep up to the pace of the things you are doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I look at like celebrities like The Rock here, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He gets up like at 4 a.m, works out. He manages all these companies. He has his own company. He's an actor. And he just does so much throughout his day. And if there's one thing that I do admire of him is his work ethic. His work ethic is what really drives me and kind of made me who I am today just by watching him.
I read one of your blog posts titled "I Gained Confidence," and would you love to narrate this story to me? How did you gain your confidence?
Yeah, so confidence for me, ultimately, it started when I started working out, and that opened my eyes a lot to the concept of self-confidence. It made me think a lot. So let's flash back to when I first started working out. I was, say, like 100 pounds, skinniest person on the track team, surrounded by athletes who were lifting weights on the football team, the whole 10 yards. And when I started going to the gym and I started working out consistently, I realized that I'm not the only one who feels like this right now. You have to realize that you're not the only one who felt like they were scared to go talk to a girl. That you're not the only one to feel what you're feeling right now, and that there's other people that felt like this too. And for me, that really gave me kind of like a better feeling inside, because I always thought that I was the only one feeling this way. But I feel like this is a really popular concept of like, if someone else is doing it, you're more willing to do something. So if I know that other people feel this way too, then that kind of gives me self-confidence, saying like, this is okay, telling myself that it's okay to feel this way. And then for me, I kind of adopted the just don't care what people think about you attitude, because I think it's very helpful to watch people like vloggers. For me, Max Tuning on YouTube was a big person that I would follow it with in the fitness industry, and he does all this goofy stuff on his camera, and he just doesn't care. And if you see someone like that do whatever they want and not care what people think of you, it kind of inspires you, really, because if they can do it, you can do it too.
Yeah.
And just practicing, like, getting out of your comfort zone is going to make you comfortable in situations where you're not comfortable. So the common phrase is be comfortable being uncomfortable, because the more that you can just deal with like that weird feeling of feeling like awkward in like a situation, the better it can be. Because then when that kind of becomes normal and you kind of just don't feel that anymore, then you just become confident in yourself. And for me, the biggest thing, always remember that you can't make everyone happy. Even even the most funny people in this world cannot make everyone happy. Everyone's gonna hate. There's gonna be one person who hates your jokes, just like there's gonna be that one person in comedy shows who don't think jokes are funny, or someone's gonna not like this actor because they did this and this, or they don't think that they're this good of an actor. So there's one thing that I got through my head is that I'm not gonna impress everyone. I know that people aren't gonna like me. I know that people are gonna think that I'm annoying, but what can I do about that? I can't change a billion people's minds, and I just can't let their thoughts affect how I live my life and kind of like what makes me happy.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Yeah, I was just about to ask you about, maybe you could give me, some tips on how to gain self-confidence. Do you have more of those tips, or I should just be carefree, or don't care about what everyone I should not care about what every other person says about me, then that's where I could build my self-confidence in some ways.
Yeah, for me, it like when I started college, that was just a new time for me. So for me, it was doing something that I was not comfortable with, maybe one time a week. And if you do something one time a week, and it just is like a snowball effect down. Like 1 week, take for example, when I first started working out, I didn't really feel comfortable wearing cutoffs in the gym because everyone who wore tank tops and cutoffs had big muscles on them. But there's 1 week when I said, okay, I'm not going to care. I'm just going to wear a tank top or cutoff to the gym for the whole week. And once you do it, your thoughts of like, oh, people are going to make fun of me and all that is running through your head. But when you actually do it, no one cares. No one cares. They look at you, and I doubt that they're judging, because for me, I don't really judge people when they wear cutoffs, but like, people in the gym are really nice, from what I found out too. Don't be scared to ask people. But yeah, for me, it was just adopting that mentality. Take a deep breath before you do something, and just shoot your shot. That's like a common phrase among the young people. Just shoot your shot. Yeah. I've had many situations of like back in the day where like you were scared to text someone, say it's your crush or something, and your friend just tells you, come on, man, shoot your shot. You don't want to live life with regret. And that's also one of the big things that helped me with self-confidence too, is you don't want to live life with regret. So you don't want to like pass up an opportunity and then just think back, oh man, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Oh, I regret that. And then that beats you up. And it's just living life to the fullest and do what makes you happy. And that's kind of what I realized, that when I started being myself, being more goofy, being more weird out in public, making people laugh, and occasionally annoying other people, it's truly what made me happy. Just seeing my friends laugh is the world to me, and that's one thing that really helps.
Oh, that's great. That's really good. I mean, doing something that makes you happy also boosts your self confidence, and seeing that other people receive it the way you you shoot it at them.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of boosts your confidence too. But there's a question that's on my mind, and it's about I wanted to know if comparison helps, if comparison affects one's confidence. Like if you compare yourself to other people, like you made mention of you looking at the football players with all the muscles. Did that comparison with make you in some ways lose your self confidence?
Yeah, that comparing myself to others is something that I really struggled with when I was in college, because it was very hard for me on some weekends, because I wasn't the type to go out and all that. And comparing my lifestyle to my friends' lifestyles is kind of really toxic for me. I didn't really like what it was doing to me. It was making me kind of like sad and feel regretful. But then I thought again, like, I'm doing on what I do on weekends makes me happy. What they're doing on their weekends makes them happy. And
Yeah.
that's all that matters, is that as long as you are having fun, are happy with what you're doing what you like, really, is what made me come to terms with myself. But when it comes to comparing yourself with people, is that you ultimately you don't want to compare yourself to someone, because you don't want to be just like someone, because then that takes the uniqueness away from you.
Yes.
Because then you're not unique if you become just like someone else. And not everyone is built the same. So that's some limitations to that. But you want to stay unique with yourself and know that you have attributes that are unique to yourself and that are very useful that
Yeah.
someone with the perfect body may not have.
Mm.
And you just have to think deeper into the situation, I feel like, and just think of like what you have internally, not externally, because someone who looks amazing can't, well, may not be feeling the way that you feel inside.
Yes. Wow, that's really good. I really like that. I really like that. You've talked on this already, but I would love to ask again. What keeps you motivated to remain consistent on your podcast, blog, fitness, and other things that you do? What's the motivation behind it? What drives Brian you forward every time and pushes you? Apart from, for example, being accountable to your friends or family members.
Yeah. The what keeps me motivated to stay consistent with the blog and my podcast and like maintaining relationships is finding that routine, finding the routine and finding the balance, finding the time to do each and every single thing. And most importantly, you have to find that hobby that you do or whatever you do, you have to enjoy it. And if there's one thing that I learned from podcasting is that I love podcasting. I may be awkward in like my first couple episodes or even still, but I'm still growing. It's teaching me a lot of skills about myself. It's teaching me how to carry conversations on with people, asking people questions. And podcasting is also nice because you're getting to know someone, but all the awkwardness is left behind because you're both just interviewing each other and learning from each other. So you're getting to know each other, but the awkward of like, oh, hey, this is my first time meeting you, like, is gone. Blogging for me is more of being able to inspire people's lives. If there's one thing in life that I believe that you should do is always make an impact on everyone that you meet. And that's something that I want to do with everyone who comes to my blog, everyone that I meet in my life. I want to help them out in some type of way. So whoever comes to my blog or reads an article, I want them to take a message away from that. And if they're able to implement one thing from my articles into their life to make their life a better life, that makes, well, that, I just said life too many times in that. But that is all that matters to me, is that I help someone out in their life and I made an impact based on one of my articles.
Yeah.
But, and then friends, family, relationships, you have to find the time for that. Find the balance of that. And some may not, and you just have to kind of adjust your life. Make some sacrifices to maintain some really important relationships, or just let them know like you're doing something that you like. Maybe they can come on your podcast, maybe they can guest post with you, maybe they can come help you in some type of way so you can hang out with them and still maintain your relationship.
Wow. Yes. Oh, that's really good. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Talking about your blog, I was going through the old sections. You have this health, fitness, and lifestyle section, and I was seeing a lot of tips on the health section. The health section, like I think types of drinks, or for the fitness section also, like kind of stretches or exercises to try out. So I'm definitely going to stay hooked on the website, get some more tips, more skills, and learn a lot more from you then.
Hey, just because you said that, you're giving me like motivation to like post more on the fitness tab of it, because sometimes I kind of neglect the fitness side of it because I feel like just reading workouts is kind of boring, but learning about motivation or health is more educational, more beneficial for you. But since you said that, I do want to put more time into the fitness section and maybe uploading some videos of myself doing workouts to help people out.
Yes, that would be great. I mean, just seeing you or reading about some tips or some things that I've not tried out before, which could be solutions to what I've been asking myself. Just helps you to you just get that light bulb and says, yeah, this is exactly what I've been trying to do, or I've been having these pains after workout, stretching this way or trying Zumba, for example. Could really help in some ways. I find that really good.
Zumba's a good type of cardio. I really do enjoy Zumba, even though it can be awkward at times, but you can't feel awkward when you're dancing to good music.
Music. That's great. So I'm so excited about this, and you made mention of videos. So on what platforms can we stay connected with you on, and do you have some projects you're working on that we should be looking forward to?
Yeah, so you can find me on my podcast, The More You Know. You can find it on Spotify, Anchor, anything that you listen to podcasts on. And then my health and fitness blog, obviously, Better Healthier You spelled as in YU from my last name. Instagram is Brian U Fit. And as regards to projects, there are some projects that I want to look at down the road. I can just say it. Basically, kind of like a health shot in the morning. So something that you can just grab out the fridge and just chug it, and then you'll get a good dose of vegetables, fruits, and all your essential vitamins all in one shot. All from organic materials I'm trying to look at. But the question is for me is, what do I want in each shot? How do I strategically build the flavors? And then eventually down the road, I do want to start probably like a supplement line, but no BS. I want it to be affordable, healthy, and just like a true natural supplement. But that's later down the road. But
Yes.
it's all the thinking stage and planning stage right now.
That's good. That's good. As long as you have a good plan for it and you're working towards it, then it's perfect. Then anytime in the future, it's going to materialize and you have it done already.
Yeah. Wrote it down in my notebook now, so that's putting the skin in the game, holding myself accountable to updating it at least once a week, even daily sometimes.
That's good. Yes, I mean, yes, writing it down, or putting it on your wall and making sure that you look at it every time and say, yeah, I'm going to make those supplements or those early morning shots. Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah, and then you ask yourself, how do I want to proceed to this goal? And then if you go 7 days and it's still on your wall empty, then you'll just be like, okay, I should probably write something down.
Yes.
And then it'll push you to it.
And when your mind tells you, you can't do this, then you have to drop those excuses.
Yes.
And say, this is the right time to start. This is the right time to write something there and do something about it.
You can do this. You just got to find your way of doing it, not someone else's way. You are unique.
You are unique. Wow. Yes, that's really good. Wow. Thank you so much for your time, Brian. I really appreciate this. I'm going to put your information, everything about your details, where we could find you in the show notes. And I hope everyone who listens to this would go through the show notes and get in connection with you listen to your podcast, and also be blessed the same way I was blessed with everything I read from you. Thank you so
That
much.
means the world to me. Thanks so much for having me on. It was a pleasure doing this. I had so much fun.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I am eternally grateful for your time, your love, and contributions. You mean a lot to me. Thank you once again for listening and sharing with your loved ones. Don't forget to subscribe and follow this journey on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other platforms in the description. Stay blessed.